Imagine if you woke up tomorrow as a 40-year-old, and as you sat on your bed checking your phone, you feel like being 18 years old wasn't too long ago. It literally just feels like yesterday. You had plans, goals, and dreams you told yourself you were going to achieve, as well as relationships you swore you'd never lose. Then one day, when you woke up, 20 years has already gone by. Now, I know that doesn't really happen that way literally, but just ask anyone near or over 40 what they think is the biggest shock of adulthood is, and I'm pretty sure that most people would most likely tell you the exact same thing. It's that as you grow older, time does speed up. Not the literal speeding up, but you literally feel like the days and years are coming along faster than how it used to. Because now, you start feeling like time is already getting limited. Which is why, if you're currently under 22, you have something most people would do literally anything to have again. Now, you may think it's money, experiences, jobs, skills, and whatnot, but no, it's time. And once you spiral into the cycle of wasting it like how most people do, you'll most likely only realize it when it's already gone. Don't you notice that while you're still young, every year actually feels like such a long time? Like you'd be so excited for summer vacation and that 2 months of vacation feels so long. Like waiting for your next birthday feels like an eternity. And then one day, you feel like every year is actually starting to feel like it's getting shorter and shorter. This isn't exactly just a random feeling, because psychologists actually believe that our brains measure time by new experiences. Which is why, while we're still young, we feel like all the experiences we are experiencing are very memorable, such as your first crush, first heartbreak, first school, new friends, first job, and many more. Now, the problem with that, though, is that as we grow older, life actually becomes more repetitive, and the memories we create don't feel all that unique and new anymore. Which is why we feel like our days go by a lot quicker, since no noteworthy situations happen as often as it used to. Now, here's where most people get it wrong. Wait, though, I'm not removing myself from the equation, okay? Because even I myself got this wrong, and could even still get it wrong in the future, depending on the situation. But here's the thing. Most people don't necessarily waste their 20s just because they're lazy. Well, actually, that might be a huge part of it. But that connotation of laziness actually stems from a very common misconception people have. And it's that we still have time. That's why most people delay it by saying, I'll do it later, maybe next week, I'll try next month, how about next year? And eventually, we just keep delaying everything until we've already lost the opportunity to do that something. Now, here's something nobody really talks about that much. As you grow up, each year that goes by isn't just any random chapter of our lives that go by. Like seriously, everything you would do and decide on are going to be the foundation of literally almost everything that would and could occur in your life, such as the habits you build. Now wait, before I move on, I'm not talking about just any habit that would help you grow as a person. This also entails even the food and drinks you intake, because this would definitely impact your health in the following years as well. Now going back, this also includes the skills you develop, and even the relationships you build and develop throughout your years. Now, there are a ton more that could impact our lives, but that's gonna take forever, so let's just keep it at that. All those things all have one thing in common. All the things I've said and you can think of will literally compound itself towards the future. So now, let me give you an example using myself as an analogy. Let's use my YouTube journey as an example. Imagine if there were two people that both have the desire to make content. Maybe not necessarily to become a full-time content creator yet, but at least both would like to start on their content creation journey. Now, the other person just starts editing and uploads a video from time to time, no matter how raw it may still be from the start. While the other just gets stuck at all the researches he'd be doing that he believes he would need, but at the end of the day, would never really start anything. No videos edited, no videos uploaded, and no real personal experience gained. Now, you may say that at the end of the day, those two could just have identical results, especially if the first person that was uploading videos wasn't necessarily getting any significant views anyways. But that's where you'd get it wrong. Just think about it. Even if that may look identical at the start, as time goes by, the one that stick to improving even just 1% a time, putting the actual work, would be able to learn and go much further than the one that would just be stuck in the ideation phase but not really putting in any real work. Now, life also works the same way. No matter how you think of it, no matter how you visualize it, and no matter how much you want it, no one could suddenly just become more disciplined, more confident, and all the more successful overnight. That's not how it works. All the decisions we've done day by day, year by year, stacked up, are the decisions that would lead to who would become in the future. Maybe not near, but most definitely in the far future. And that's also why every day you delay your goals, delay the things you want to do, or let yourself doom scroll your way through the day also compounds into something. Now, unfortunately, that compounding is not something you'd ever want to experience. Now, due to the boom of social media and all those successful young ones that keeps popping out left and right from various SOCMEDs, people are starting to think that now that is the new normal. And that's where the problem begins. For quite some time now, most people spend their early 20s or teenage years chasing what they see from other people and or what they think looks impressive or cool, such as gaining huge followers or subscribers, validation from a lot of people, buying expensive things and following all the trends because they don't want to get behind. And one more thing, people are so busy trying to look like someone they actually aren't really yet. If you'd go and try asking older people, you'd actually only see or hear a few that would tell you that. They hope they had more material things like shirts, pants, bags, watches, how they wish they've watched more shows, how they hope they were able to scroll more, and how they hope they were able to gain more subscribers and followers. Instead, most of them would actually have identical opinions, such as how they wish they started sooner, tried more things, and built and maintained more relationships. Because at the end of the day, most of the things you may have thought and would identify as valuable would most likely stop mattering when you grow older, such as your material possessions. And instead, the things that actually matter and stays are the experiences and skills you've gained, the relationships you've built and developed, and the biggest thing of all, the person you've become. And everything else simply fades. Maybe you don't see it now, maybe you don't feel it now, and maybe you can't even imagine it now. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, maybe not even 5 years from now. But eventually, it will. Now, before we proceed, let me just ask you one simple question. Just try to think about who you were 5 years ago and compare that to the current you. Different, right? Some of you may even laugh at how different you've become. Some may be happy, and unfortunately, some may also be disappointed, right? Now, with that mindset and realization in mind, just imagine who you could become 5 years from now. Well, maybe not even 5. Just think about a year from now, then 3 years from now, and so on and so forth. Now, here's the catch. That version of yourself would be created by the things you decide to keep and do by the time this video ends. Not tomorrow, but today. The thing is, I truly am a firm believer that you don't necessarily need to have all of it figured out by now. As you're watching this video right now, you might be 16, 17, 18, 22, 24. In fact, if you've reached up to this point in the video, if you don't mind, drop your age in the comments below. Now, as I was saying, there's that invisible pressure we have as we grow up. In fact, it's getting pretty bad right now due to how social media makes most people look to be. It's literally giving the impression that people, regardless of age, already has their life together and knows exactly what they want to be and do. And that's where the problem honestly begins in today's time. It's the singular fact that literally everyone right now would grow up exposed and consuming social media every second of our lives. And that's the problem. You'd see one person buying another gadget, buying another luxury bag, buying another car, buying another property, starting a business, has an impressive portfolio, or maybe even someone getting their dream job. And somehow that's not just you. It just isn't. And that would make you feel that pressure and left behind. But here's something I believe is worth taking note of. By doing just that, you're basically comparing yourself to someone else's highlight reel. The problem is, doing that sometimes even makes you not start at all because of the fear of failing. Now, just hear me out. I know you'd see most people doing this already, but not most. You wouldn't necessarily see all the people you think is successful post the days, months, years they felt lost, felt behind, and the days they simply didn't know what to do and just questioned everything. Or even the 9 to 5 they hated. No one really posts the whole grind, thought process, and struggles they experience as a whole, as much as they post their success stories. You gotta remember one simple thing. Feeling lost and being confused isn't automatically something you should associate with failure. That honestly is a necessary step to growing. Just think about it. Some people change their careers even in their 30s. Some started the business in their 40s or 50s. And some even finds love in their 60s. Even I myself grew up without any concrete dreams and plans besides the desire to be rich. Then when I was 18, I thought of trying to become a pilot. Then the next thing you know, I was already a nurse. The following year, trying to become a doctor. Then 2 years later, went back to only having nursing as my only option. And then a year later, exploring all those other options and actually wanting to take content creation as my full-time job instead. Which led to the current me today. Which is why you're actually able to watch this video right now. And that's just really how it is. Life isn't a race, it's simply a direction. And as long as you're moving, no matter which direction you may be going at the moment, no matter which path you took before, and no matter which destination you want to have now, you just have to remember that as long as you're moving, you're basically not behind. Before we end this, if there's one thing I hope you can take away as you finish this video, it's this. At some point in time, you'd definitely reach a point where you'd be the person looking back at the age you once were. And when that day finally comes, you wouldn't necessarily care about how many followers you've got, how much material possessions you have, nor how perfect you think your life looks online or in the eyes of others. You'll most likely only care about whether you were able to spend your time becoming someone you're actually proud of. Because honestly, there's something weird about the concept of time. As we're living through those moments and as we're trying to reach or achieve something, time feels unbelievably slow. But whenever we're trying to remember something, it's impossibly fast. So don't wait until you learn that lesson the hard way. Now, don't get me wrong. I've been calling out younger ages since earlier, but this is basically applicable to all ages. Because as I've said earlier, it's still possible to be and do anything you want at any age you're at. You just have to face your fears, your insecurities, and take that step one step at a time, slowly but surely. Which is why when this video ends, call that person. Start what you've been avoiding for the past couple of, who knows, days, weeks, months, or maybe even years. Try that skill, take the risk, and make the memory. Because if you're under 22, you're basically holding the most valuable thing you'll ever own that everyone will literally do anything again to regain. And in every second you just spent conceptualizing, ideating, and wondering whether you should start and how is a second you'll never be able to get back. So let's make it simple. Start today.